Black History Month
It's yours another year.
contains the 28 days where we remember all the contributions black people have made to American society. That's right, white people were so guilty about slavery, they gave us a full 28 days to make up for it. Now if that ain't generous, I don't know what is. Come on everyone, how about we give them a round of applause? In all seriousness, if you view Black History Month from that lens, you're missing out on the point of the entire celebration. Black History Month began as Negro History Week, and was started by renowned historian Carter G. Woodson, along with other prominent African-American figures, way back in 1926. The group decided to hold the holiday on the second week of February as a nod to Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln, whose birthdays are on February 12th and the 20th respectively. Fast forward to 1976, when President Gerald Ford officially observed February as Black History Month, during the celebration of the United States' bicentennial. The rest, my friends, is history!
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
While February has come to signify Black History Month in the United States, the holiday is celebrated all around the world. Look no further than the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, or the Republic of Ireland in October, or our good pals in Canada who decided to join our celebration during the month of February. As we're in the midst of another Black History Month, I got to thinking, what is Black history? Is it the facts that we're taught to memorize in school from a young age? I swear I've known the beginning of the I Have a Dream speech for as long as I can remember. Is it the information we get from social media, whether it be tweets about little known truths or the infographics on Instagram people post to raise awareness? Is it the observations of what the media perceives as Black excellence? Or is it something else entirely?
What's up, y'all? It's Timon, and this is a closer look at Black History Month.
Okay, so I know what you're thinking. Who's this pretentious asshole that's going to preach to me for the next few minutes? And to that I say, fair. If I come off as full of myself, please feel free to roast me. Like, for real, let me have it. I can take it, and I believe everyone's entitled to their own opinions, no matter how wrong those opinions may be. Regardless of how what I say makes you feel, I genuinely am asking you to hear me out real quick. Okay, now that's out of the way, I'll ask you again. What is Black History Month? Nah, for real, think about that shit. I'm gonna give you a second. I'm sure when someone asks you that question, certain images come to mind. Malcolm X calling out for justice, Breonna Taylor's family doing the same, Harriet Tubman freeing as many slaves as she could, Frederick Douglass becoming a free man, Rosa Parks refusing to get up, Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, 4-year-old Ruby Bridges walking into school escorted by US Marshals, a little black girl marching for her life and the lives of others 60 years later, Haram Rose Revels becoming the first black person elected to Congress, Barack Obama becoming the first black president, Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier, Michael Jordan dunking from the free throw line, Scott Joplin's The Entertainer, Michael Jackson moonwalking, Sidney Poitier winning an Oscar, Moonlight winning Best Picture, the 1992 Rodney King protests, the 2020 protests against police brutality, the venerable Dr. Umar Johnson, the guys changing the internet forever.
Yo, bitch up for grabs like a sweepstake, and I eat her ass like a cheesecake.
I could go on and on. While these iconic figures and moments of black excellence come to mind when one is asked about black history, it's inevitable that Jim Crow, slavery, colonialism, imperialism, constant exploitation, mass incarceration, systematic targeting, lynchings, police brutality, injustices the likes of which would make any non-psychopathic person's skin crawl, unfair demonizations, racist stereotypes in media, the KKK, white supremacists, and a hell of a lot more images do as well. Black people lead the country, and the amount of times our lives having meaning have been debated. Whether it's the debate they had about us being 3/5 of a person back in the day, or the one we're currently having about Black Lives Mattering, the story is always the same. Black people in America, and around the world, have one singular arc throughout history. We do something, no matter how big or how small, and the Western white majority decides how and what about it, if anything at all, will be remembered. What do I mean by this? Well, we're all taught about the bubonic plague, but we aren't taught that if the Moors weren't kind enough to teach the Europeans to wash their ass, thousands more people probably would have perished. We learn about Lincoln freeing the slaves, but try our best to gloss over the fact that Washington owned more than his fair share, though I'm sure that comes as a surprise to no one. We're taught about Rosa Parks standing up to the man, but the story of 14-year-old Claudette Colvin going to jail for doing the exact same thing would have made the public a bit too uncomfortable. We commemorate the achievements of Hattie McDaniels, the first African American to win an Oscar, but fail to mention that she wasn't allowed to attend Gone with the Wind's national premiere. Take a guess as to why. Every piece of history is taught through this manipulated lens. Therefore, it comes as no surprise that American history is the same way. Like, did you know that during her run for president, they tried to assassinate Shirley Chisholm 3 different times? Or that Matthew Henson was a key member of the first successful expedition to the North Pole and made 7 separate voyages to the Arctic? How about the fact that 1 in 4 cowboys was black, despite the stories that were told in popular books and movies? Or that inoculation was introduced to the Western world by a slave who brought that information with him from Africa? In other words, you can thank black people for pioneering the ideas and techniques that eventually would lead to vaccines. Now, I bring all this up because, well, black people are fucking awesome, and I gotta make sure I get that across. That, and to emphasize that whether it's through the glossing over of achievements, whitewashing of stories to make them more palatable, omission of truths from the written record, or just all-around rewriting of events,
You ain't nothing but a hound. You ain't nothing but a hound.
black history has been under attack for as long as black people have. And we've been under attack forever.
Fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
That's why this month is so important. No, not because of R. Kelly. We don't claim him. It's important because we need to make sure to continue emphasizing the importance of taking the time to record, review, and write down our history for future generations to come. In my opinion, black history is ultimately the fight to be remembered in history. Black history is history. We live in a world that's been globalized for centuries. You really think black people weren't around and contributing to communities across the globe? Like we just started doing shit when America freed the slaves or something? Whether it be through science, math, literature, public service, or fine arts, black history has been made and is being made each and every day, just like all other history. This month is about remembering that truth and not allowing our stories to be forgotten to the times. We owe it to all of those who came before us and the countless who will follow to make sure we do at least that much. So whether you're on Instagram learning that Benjamin Banneker taught himself astronomy and math to become America's first known black man of science, or scrolling through Twitter and stumble upon the fact that the 6,888th Battalion was an all-black, all-female unit of the military that delivered mail to World War II troops across England, take a mental note and make sure to remember that black history is the history of America. No, the history of the world. I'll leave you with some final thoughts. In February of 2018, I made a short documentary about my friend Marcus. The idea behind the doc was simple: have a conversation between the two of us about what it means to be black in America, and use that as a framing device to show the struggles of the past are sadly still as present today as they were back then. While I expected the conversation to get real, I never expected to learn something about my good friend that would serve as such a chilling reminder of how quickly and how frivolously a black life can end. Before you get too worried, Marcus is alive and well. That being said, others in the past who encountered similar situations to the one that he did weren't as lucky. Every day you get to live as a black person, despite all the hassles that come with it, is, for lack of a better word, a blessing. The smiling through the pain, perseverance through the obstacles, beautiful art, spectacular achievements, useful inventions, and rich culture that we share with the entire world are just a small part of what makes us black. A small part of what we have to be proud of. No matter how much they try to remove us from the narratives of history, the truth remains that our modern world would not be half of what it is today without the voluntary and forced contributions of black people around the world. And while the black experience is different for everyone, there's no denying that we all share a bond, one that is never spoken yet always understood, and is colored by the way that we are forced to move through the world and the experiences, both good and bad, that come as a result of the melanin that courses through our bodies. It's what makes us who we are. And if you ask me, that's cause enough to celebrate. Not just in February, but every day. So, happy Black History Month, everyone, and thanks again for humoring me. If this video didn't have the answers you were looking for, I'm really not sorry. Honestly, the truth is there is no answer to the question, what is black history? Just like there's no answer to the question, what is history? History is made every day that passes by. At the end of the day, it's up to us to remember it. Let this serve as a reminder that every story, whether they're the grand tales that get immortalized or the ones that get lost to the sands of time, are and always will be important. Whether you're black, white, Latinx, Asian, indigenous, or something else altogether, remember that all of those stories make up the collective one that we all share, the story of humanity. And if our story is to survive the test of time, it will be told in its messy, intertwined, and problematic entirety. I hope that this Black History Month can serve as a reminder that at the end of the day, black history is history. Is her story, is their story, is, well, history. I'll give the final word to Marcus.
On a day-to-day basis, being black affects me because I'm always reminded that I'm black instead of just like a normal human being. And when I go places in like non-black areas, I don't want to cause too much attention to myself, even though like I live in that neighborhood, because like I'm like, oh, they're gonna see a black person, they're gonna think this, or or if I like drive in my car, I drive a nice car, and I'm in a non-black neighborhood, or even I'm in a black neighborhood, like the police look at me, or I get pulled over and the police is like, your car is stolen. Ooh, let's search the car, even though my car is not stolen. I have all the paperwork for it. So it's just kind of like I'm on my heels on everything. I'm just always on alert, and it's just, I don't know, it feels unfair. This when we moved to a predominantly white neighborhood and I was in high school. My cousin, me, my best friend was playing with airsoft guns outside in front of the house, and 2 police cars came. They, different angles. Popped out, lights flashing, tires screeching. Like, it was serious.
Damn.
And the dude hopped out and he pulled his gun out on us. And he said, "Freeze!" And he dropped it. And we dropped the gun so fast. We got 2 guns pointing at us. Three kids. We 14. 3 black kids, 14. He freeze. He dropped the weapons. Then he put us in handcuffs, set us on the curve, and they picked the weapon and said, how do I know these aren't real? And they're airsoft guns, and they got the orange tips on them. Really, the whole gun was translucent. Like, they was just cheap guns. And he's like, how do I know these are not real? And it's just crazy because it would be like, first of all, we're 14. We look like 14-year-olds. Like, we look like kids. Second, why would 3 14-year-olds have, M16 submachine guns, and why are we just outside pointing them at each other? Like, and then he put us in the back of the police car. He arrested us, took us down to the station, put us in a holding cell. That just like went on, and like I really just got arrested.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. What'd you think about the video? Do you agree with my thoughts? Think I'm a complete idiot? Somewhere in the middle? Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel to keep up with the latest episodes. Finally, don't forget to follow The Next Wave on all platforms @TheNextWaveCHI, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram @TIIMON_. Happy Black History Month, everyone. Thanks again for watching, and for all of us here at The Next Wave, we'll see you all next time.